Hanging with Deez. Oh my God, we are alive and back.
It seems
I
like yesterday it was over.
right, what was it, like April? I think it was. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm your host Deez. If this is your first time tuning in, and over there in the ugly ass Cowboys jersey is Bubba J. And yeah, as you can see, we have a little theme going here, but this isn't just Steelers and Cowboys. We'll talk a little bit about everything. As far as where we've been, well, life happens, job changes. Plus, there wasn't a season, even though there was quite a bit that went on.
A lot. Well,
Uh,
unless you're
Unless
the
you're a Cowboys fan,
unless you're in this side,
yeah.
nothing happened. Nothing.
Hey, you re-signed Dak though.
We did.
I think had had we signed Russ our last show? I think we did. I think we had just signed him, and we were speculating over the battle with Kenny, and then literally within a couple weeks, they shipped his ass off to Philly, and then we kind of fell into Justin Fields. Blah blah blah. Everybody knows the story. But overall, pretty happy with Pittsburgh's offseason. Patrick Queen, um, Dante Jackson, so far in week one anyway, paid off pretty big in that trade with Johnson over in Carolina.
Yep.
Then we had the safety as well, Deshante, I think is his name, something like that. I'll have to look, but either way, fairly happy, except the wide receiver market, which that was a complete shit show
Yeah.
and a month of my life that I would like to have back. So anyway, no sense really going over all the stuff. If you're a fan of Pittsburgh or the NFL, you know what's going on. But let's talk about the big news of the past couple weeks. Obviously, the story everybody's talking about today is Tua in Miami got absolutely rocked, although
Yeah.
he kind of rocked himself.
He did. He did it to himself. I mean, there was a clean tackle. He should have slid feet first. All quarterbacks are taught day one, slide feet first.
Especially him, like
Right.
considering his, but then you talk to all these players and they basically say, look, you only play the game one way. So,
Right. I mean, I
uh,
understand what he was doing. Trying for the first down. He's trying to be a tough guy, and he is a tough guy. But you got to remember, you're the face of that franchise. Miami's not Miami without Tua. I mean, it don't work. Their offense don't work.
the
Uh, yeah,
very well paid face of that
very well.
franchise now.
And you don't put that face into a defender's shoulder pads.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you want to call it ironic or coincidental or whatever, but that it was those two,
Right.
DeMar Hamlin with
Right.
the huge comeback, and like the two what what you would call the weakest points of both players, to his head, DeMar
Yeah.
Hamlin's chest, uh, and Hamlin won.
He sure did.
Going forward, what is your thoughts on what is going to happen and what should happen with Tua?
Well, what's going to happen is he's going to take a few weeks off. He'll get through concussion protocol, and he'll go right back to playing. What should happen is a drastic, like, medical look at his future.
Yeah,
You can only get your bell rung so many times before it don't work upstairs no more.
and there are
I
plenty of
mean,
cases out there.
and it might be something where the team mandates that he wears a guardian cap. Granted, it wouldn't have saved him in this aspect because his neck went four different directions and his chin was in his spleen. But I definitely see some definitely major changes in that locker room for sure. And I think they're going to sign a quarterback in the near future.
Tannehill's out there.
Yep. Tannehill, Fitzpatrick maybe come out of retirement. I could see him. I could see him reaching for somebody. Maybe take a Justin Fields off Pittsburgh's hands.
That won't happen. They'll get rid of Russ before they get rid of Justin, but I don't see that happening either. Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think they're going to sign somebody in the next few weeks. I really do.
Well, after the way Skylar Thompson looked, you almost have to do
Right.
something. I mean, obviously nobody's going to come in there and start next week unless literally they sign him tomorrow.
Yeah, and if they sign somebody tomorrow, they want them to start Sunday. It's got to be a Tannehill or a Fitzpatrick who already knows the offense.
But
Yeah.
well, Fitzpatrick would probably know it a little bit. Tannehill wouldn't with
Tannehill
the
would,
whole new
but
system. But yeah, they got to do something. I mean, and my personal opinion, uh, I think he needs to hang it up. It's only going to get worse, and they're going to come more frequently. And he's going to end up, with scrambled eggs for
right.
brains up there. It's sad because I mean he's a
Yeah.
solid player and
Well,
he's
and
tough,
and
and I admire that. But
and he's already shown. He goes into that. I saw it on the internet today. There goes in that rigor status. Immediately. All of his concussions, he goes into that. I'm a robot look, and
yeah, he
that's
seized
that's
up.
just a sign of what's damage is already permanent.
Yeah, for sure. That one arm just like kind of cocked up, and
Right.
which is never a good sign. But
No.
other big injury going on right now is the Christian McCaffrey situation
Yeah.
that we really didn't know much about until all of a sudden he was inactive.
Yeah. It was definitely kept quiet.
And now they've already ruled him out for this week, and now they're talking potential IR stint, which would only be the 4-week thing. But
Right.
a lot of first round fantasy picks are going to be a little upset.
Yeah, and anybody who took CeeDee Lamb or Justin Jefferson or someone like that first overall, good for you.
I'm in 3 leagues. I didn't see any of that.
No,
Um,
I'm in 10. And
Jesus,
I saw it twice.
I don't have time for the 3 that I'm in, let alone 10, man.
Well, I tried a couple of new ones this year. So one, I'm on Sleeper and then Yahoo. So I tried a defense only league on both platforms. Um, so no offense, no nothing, and it's individual. It's IDP, which is pretty cool. So it's all defensive players.
Oh, right on.
And then I tried a keeper league and a dynasty league.
I'd
So
like to do it, yeah, keeper again, but it's been a while, and
yeah,
it's kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. But
you got to have a good commissioner,
yeah,
and
so
everybody's got to be on the same page. Everybody's got to agree on how many, what reasons, how you're going to keep them. Or is it going to fill in that draft spot? Are you just going to, if you keep 3 people, you're not going to draft the first 3 rounds? How a lot of talk during the season, that's for sure.
yeah. So that'll be a situation worth monitoring. I mean, I don't think it's going to hurt San Francisco too bad as we saw this past week. The other big story, obviously, as far as the injuries go, is the Jordan Love situation, and Green Bay's in a much worse place.
Yeah, they
'Cause
don't have another quarterback. Oh wait, no, sorry, that wasn't Green Bay. Sorry, never mind.
I mean, they got Malik Willis, but they literally just traded for him right before the season.
Right.
So, like, he's clearly not totally up to speed yet with that system, and I don't know that he really is going to fit all that well. We'll see. They got a lot of young guys at the receiver spots. We'll see if they hold it down, but he's in the wrong division to try and play keep up.
Sure.
Luckily for Love, though, it appears that he could be back as quick as 2 to 3 weeks. They didn't even rule him out for this week, but there's no shot he's playing. So their season isn't all a loss the way that Miami's could be, depending on how long Tua is going to be out for. It looked bad when it happened. I was really surprised that it turned out as good as it did. But
yeah, he seemed to be off the field. Seemed to be doing okay. I didn't get a chance today to watch any interviews or press conferences or anything about it, but it was nasty. I mean, it definitely looked really bad.
Yeah, the way that pop happened.
But yet, I mean, look at the Ryan. I'm going to butcher his last name. What's his name?
Ryan Shazier.
Yeah, his looked way better than Tua's did. His neck injury didn't look bad. Didn't look life altering.
Yeah,
like it was.
No, I was shocked that that turned out as bad as it was. It's just one
but
of those.
Tua's gonna get in that situation. He's gonna be just like Ryan if he doesn't quit sliding and trying to thinking he's a running back.
Yeah.
He don't have the quarterback pads are different than running back pads. The helmets are different. He just does. You're not taught how to run. You're taught to throw and slide.
And like I said, it's one of those situations where once you develop the history, then it just happens all. It's almost like severely spraining your ankle.
Yep.
Those ligaments never fully recover
Right.
for the average person. So I mean, I could literally step off a curb and roll my ankle.
Yep.
So
you don't take much. This is what, number 4 or 5 for him now? 4.
3 major ones in the NFL that I know of.
NFL. I think he had 1 in college.
I believe so.
Yeah, he's got 4. I'm pretty sure.
Hey, what's up, Hunter? Speaking of which, Hunter gave me some potential parlay picks that I'll share. He's been killing it there over on FanDuel.
I have a hard time betting on the NFL now. College and stuff, I play the money line. I try to pick, who should win. I mean, if it's even close to maybe being an upset, I don't pick it. But NFL is just so unpredictable. One injury can really could really turn a season around. It could change a game. I mean, you bet on Miami to win that game last night. You weren't betting on Tua getting a concussion.
Right. I think I did a parlay with the over, which was 48.5, and that went out the window as soon as Tua went down.
Sure.
So, yeah.
I had a 10-leg. I got to read this to you while we're talking about it real quick. I had a 10-leg parlay on week 1 of the college games, and I won all of them except for the Monday night game with Florida State.
Oh.
I was like, there's no way they're going to lose 2 games in week 1. There's no way. They can't. They can't lose back-to-back to those teams.
Did you hear about the guy that publicly said that if Florida State lost to Boston College,
he would eat shit? Yeah.
Yeah. and it deleted his Twitter account.
Yes, he did. And probably fled the country.
Right.
Anybody who knows him better hold him.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see it in video.
Yeah, he's getting a, for lack of better words, he's getting a lot of shit from his buddies right now.
Oh, yeah. So I had Wisconsin, Maryland, Penn State, Georgia, Oklahoma State, South Carolina, Alabama, Michigan, Notre Dame all to win. And they all won. And then Florida State to beat Boston College. $10 wager to win $98.
That's it on that many?
Yep. Well, they were all favors. They were all favorites. So you got to punch them all together to get a good odds. But yeah, I was floored when I woke up the next morning because I didn't watch the game. I was like, I'm not watching it. If I watch it, they're going to lose. And they lost anyway. So
as far as picks, NFL last week, I only lost 3.
So I did this thing at work. A guy does these pick sheets, and I missed the Cincinnati game.
What up, Matt?
I missed 1 last week.
Which one?
The New England Cincinnati game.
Did I even? Never mind. I missed 4. I didn't even write that game down for some reason.
Yeah.
That's weird. Real quick before we get into our season predictions, your thoughts on the Dak deal?
It's a typical Cowboys move. I mean, I understand why they did it because you're not going to get anybody better. It's just not. And he's not a bad quarterback. He really isn't. I'll argue that every day. He can't win the big games. but nobody else on that team can either.
So what you're saying is he's not highest paid NFL player in history good?
Neither is the top 10 highest paid in the NFL.
Right.
None of them have any Super Bowls. And I think Dak has more playoff wins than any of them, if I remember right, without pulling up the list.
I did love the chef's kiss though, the guaranteed money.
Guaranteed. Yeah.
231
Yep.
to eclipse Deshaun, who is going down as the worst contract probably
Right.
in the history of
And,
sports.
and that's an argument I'll have all day long. People will say, well, he's not this, he's not that. Neither is Deshaun Watson.
I mean, there's a lot of them. Look, Kirk Cousins.
Look at Kirk Cousins. Look at Tua. Look at all them guys. But look at those teams too. None of those teams are Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah.
Then look at your quarterbacks that take longer deals for less money, like Patrick Mahomes.
Tom
look what Brady did.
Yep.
And they win champion. That's how you do it. That's how you spread the money around. But I like the 4 years because they'll restructure the deal in the last year or so they can pay Micah. So Micah will stay. CeeDee Lamb's locked in. So you lock in your number one quarterback, you lock in your number one receiver, you play the running back game this year, which is absolutely terrible. They should have went and got somebody, but whatever. I think they should have re-signed Pollard, in my opinion.
Is Dalvin just washed, you think?
It's hard to say. I've watched some film on of him, and I don't think he's lost it. I don't think he's as he's definitely not 22 years old anymore.
Right.
But I don't think he's lost it. I think he needs a shot to show what he can still do behind this offensive line in this new offense. It was just Baltimore was an okay fit, but when you have a quarterback like Lamar, you're not the star. You're not the focus of the running game. Well, if he steps into that number one role, and if he can beat Zeke out, which is 100% doable, Rico could beat Zeke out. Dalvin Cook could definitely take over that franchise and play another 3-4 years as a Cowboy and do really well.
Yeah, I agree.
He just got to get his shot, and he's got to stay healthy. That goes for anybody, but he's got to stay healthy. But I don't expect to see him until after the bye week at the earliest.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into this. We wrote these down actually over a week ago.
Yep.
I contemplated changing shit, but I'm going to let it ride. Let's start in the NFC. Let's go to the NFC East.
Yep.
Just so that we kind of rapid fire this because we've got this and our weekly predictions and all that as well. I got Philly, Dallas, Washington, New York. In that order. I like what Philly did. Saquon looks like he still got it. Obviously, they got a great receiver core. They still got a pretty solid defense. Jalen Hurts, I think he's going to be hit and miss, but again, with the weapons around him and a solid defense, I still like them to squeak out the division.
Yeah. So we're pretty much the same, but I flip-flopped the Cowboys and Eagles, and just because of a tiebreaker. I think Dallas is going to beat Philly. They have no reason not to. They've got the weapons. They've got the defense. The only thing I am scared of is Saquon in Philly. And Saquon's from Philly. He grew up a Philly fan. He wants to be there. And that's a scary situation when you have a running back like him in a spot where he wants to be there.
Yeah.
He's not there for the money. He got paid, but he loves that town. He loves that team, and he's going to run all over defenses. I know he is.
Yeah, as long as he can stay healthy. That's obviously been an issue with him over the last few years, but he's got a much better offensive line in Philly and other weapons around him, a better quarterback.
Yep.
So I'll be real interested.
Quarterback is going to use him in the passing game too. So that's where he's going to, that's where it's going to help my predictions soon, and you'll see. But I got Cowboys taking the division by a game. Eagles, Commanders, Giants.
Yeah. All right, moving over to the West. I have the 49ers, the Rams, Seahawks, Arizona.
Yeah, and you're gonna be shocked, but I have the Rams winning the division
They
and
look.
Seattle taking second, and the Niners missing the playoffs completely,
Oh, wow.
and followed up by the Cardinals. Now, I sent this to you
Before week one.
week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, almost.
Yeah.
I'm kind of chewing on my tongue now after watching them teams play in week one. But the Cardinals look scary. They looked really good. Seattle looks really good. I mean, Walker's hurt, banged up a little bit, but that ain't gonna be it ain't gonna mess with the season any. But the Rams losing Nakua,
Yeah,
that hurts. That hurts a lot.
for sure.
But I'm gonna stay with it. They have the Wet Cooper Cup still there. That Williams or Johnson or whatever his name is,
Kyron Williams.
the running back looks really, really good. And it's the Rams. It's Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford's the toughest quarterback in the league, bar none.
Yeah.
No comparison. He will find a way to win games, and he's got it's a pretty pass. I mean, his throw is just, if not the best quarterback in the league, he's definitely top 2 or 3 in my opinion, as far as who I would want as my quarterback if I was an owner, GM, coach.
Yeah, if he stays healthy, he's going to at least keep him in the race.
Right.
All right, NFC South. I have the Tampa Bay Bucks, Atlanta Falcons, New Orleans Saints, and the Carolina Panthers.
Yep, and again we flip flop there. I'm taking the Falcons to win the division. The whole revamp. A similar situation with Saquon. You got Cousins there who wants to be there. He got a hell of a deal. That new offensive coordinator is going to use that running back like he's supposed to be used, Bijan.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Kyle Pitts, Drake
London. I mean, they had a couple. Drake had a rough game the first game, but that ain't gonna stick. Falcons look really good. I mean, it's their division to win. I mean, because they could definitely. There's no reason they couldn't overtake the Bucks. The Bucks are good, but they're a little older. Their receiving core is a little older. I mean, Baker Mayfield's a monster. I like him too.
Yeah.
It's definitely not going to be the Saints. It's definitely not going to be the Panthers.
How fucking dumb does Cleveland look right now?
Oh, I love it. It's dumber than fuck. It's great.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tight race. The only thing about Atlanta that kind of concerns me is I do wonder if Kirk is going to have a short leash considering what they did with the drafting of Penix.
And he could, and that's another reason I put him, winning the division, because I think Penix can come in there and do just fine.
Yeah, and he's got a good one that he's
right. And he's a mobile quarterback.
Yep.
So that's a completely different game plan than Kirk Cousins.
Agreed. Yeah, that'll be another fun race to watch.
Yeah.
Finally, we have the NFC North. And I've got the Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears, and Minnesota Vikings, which Darnold looked good. So he could make me eat that. Aaron Jones is looking tough as well. Chicago's defense is stellar. I'm just not sold on a rookie quarterback. I'm not saying that Caleb's going to be a bust. Those other two teams prior to Love injury,
96 yards since week one.
Right. Prior to Love's injury, I just didn't see them climbing that mountain. Now, depending on what happens with Jordan Love, if Caleb gets his shit together a little bit, I could see them sneaking above them. But at the end of the day, I don't think either one is going to knock Detroit off. I think they're on a mission this year.
Right. And we differ a lot. I got the Lions taking the division. by far the best team in that division right now. They got the best coach, they got the best quarterback, they got the best receivers, the best tight end, the best. I mean, they got it all. They're going to the playoffs. And they're going far. Then I got the Vikings at number 2. When I saw that Sam Darnold went to Minnesota and they picked up J.J. McCarthy in the draft, I looked at my wife and my son was sitting there. I said, that's a dangerous combination. JJ's really good. Sam Darnold, in my opinion, is a starting quarterback on multiple teams who never got the right fit for many, many years.
It's going to help having Justin Jefferson and a healthy Aaron Jones.
Having Jefferson and Hawkinson when he comes back. That's don't sleep on Minnesota. They find a way to win games, and they have a good defense, a sneaky good defense. I got them going number 2 and making the playoffs. And then I got the Bears and the Packers.
Oh, wow.
I don't like Green Bay. I don't like their setup. I don't know how they kept winning games last year. You got a guy that sat behind Aaron Rodgers forever, throwing the ball like he's a Hall of Fame quarterback already, which is so weird. Then you got no-name receivers that they got from the fucking practice squad at East Central High School down the fucking street. I don't see it, but the Aaron Jones addition helps. But when I put everything on paper, look at the weapons the Bears have. They have the weapons to go far if Caleb Williams takes them there.
Right.
You got a defense. They got one of the best receiving corps in the league, in my opinion. And, Devontae Swift running the ball. He was great in Philly. Why not?
Yeah.
I just didn't. On paper, to me, the Packers were the worst team. But they were that way last year to me as well. But they surprised me. That's for sure.
My wild card pick, I've got Dallas, Green Bay, and the Rams rounding it out there.
Yep. I got Vikings, the Bucks, and the Eagles.
All right. Are we going to pick our Super Bowl team or let's wait till the end?
Yeah, let's do AFC first.
All right. AFC going over to the East. I have the Jets. Yeah. I'd change a lot on this. I have the Jets, the Dolphins, the Bills, and the Patriots.
You put the Bills third?
They lost a lot of players on that defense. They lost Stephon Diggs.
But they got Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is a playmaker, man. He finds a way to win.
I don't know. I had a feeling that this was going to be like an Aaron Rodgers revenge tour kind of thing. And he didn't look bad, but you could tell there was a little rust there.
Oh, there was definitely rust.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I definitely didn't have the Bills going third. That's for sure. I got where'd they go? I got the Bills taking the division, followed by the Jets, Dolphins, and Patriots.
Yeah, and obviously didn't know that Tua's brains were going to get scrambled either.
No, I definitely did not know that.
Knowing what I know now and what I've seen so far, I'd go Bills, Jets, Miami, New England, but it is what it is. I'm gonna ride it out, see what happens.
Yeah, and I mean, it could really go either way. I mean, the New England looked really good.
Yeah, but I don't see that lasting.
I don't. I mean, I've seen some guys take them this week, and in the pick 'em as another upset. But I don't agree with it. I mean, it just
AFC West. I've got Kansas City. The Chiefs are still the Chiefs. The Chargers second, the Raiders third, and the Broncos coming in last.
I got the Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, and Raiders. I think the Raiders are a shit show. They don't have a quarterback. Their rookie running back has glimpses of stardom, but how long is that going to last? Rookie tight end who's really good, but he's a rookie. all the it's just there are a lot of distractions. The whole Tom Brady ownership thing. I'm not big on them. I don't think they're going to win very many games.
I don't know. I thought that Gardner could muster up 8 or 9 wins there with Devontae, but
No,
we'll see. The AFC is so fucking
yeah,
stacked that
it's and the Broncos. I really like the Bo Nix pick. They got a tandem backfield, which any one of them, could rush for 100 yards. They both could rush for 100 yards.
yeah.
They're a couple of your no name kind of sleeper picks. Your 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 round guys that you just kind of put on your fantasy team that could end up starting for you. So they're not going to win it, but they definitely have. I think they're better than the Raiders.
Yeah.
And then Chargers, of course, and the Chiefs are the Chiefs. You're not beating the Chiefs.
AFC South, I got the Texans, Jaguars, Colts, Titans.
Texans, Colts, Titans, Jags. I think the Jags are going to be a shit show again.
Yeah, I kind of flip flopped back and forth between Jacksonville and Indy. I kind of felt like maybe this was a year that Trevor really kind of turns the corner.
And if he does, I'll be wrong. If he does turn that corner, he's got it.
Yeah.
He's good enough.
And I still believe that Anthony Richardson is going to be a phenomenal quarterback, but considering that this is basically his rookie year, I think he's going to have some struggles. I still think they had a couple pieces away, but
yeah. And to play off that, I think because it's going to be his rookie year, look at a lot of the other quarterbacks who were in their rookie year. They did great.
Yeah.
They have no tape on. They have no tape
was
on
an anomaly though.
But I like what they're doing. I like, obviously JT is going to be way better than he was if he stays healthy. Their receivers aren't phenomenal.
Once you get past Pittman, it's kind of hodgepodge.
Yeah. But that Alec Pierce, is that his name?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, the 3rd or 4th year guy came out of nowhere, had like 3 catches over 40 yards. One of them was a touchdown last week.
Yep.
Keep an eye on him.
AFC North.
Who
I have Baltimore.
No.
That's painful, man.
Wow.
After week 1, though, I could go either way.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Cleveland. I do think it's going to come down to the last couple weeks. Pittsburgh's schedule is just fucking brutal, especially in the second half. But that defense, man, we don't need stellar quarterback play. We just need clean football, and that defense is going to give them the ball a lot in good field position.
Yeah, I liked what I saw.
I'm really leaning towards Pittsburgh, but I didn't want to be too much of a homer. But again, after watching that defense play this week, and I'm excited about Justin Fields. They pretty much they haven't come out and announced it, but the report out of Pittsburgh is that they already plan to start Fields for the next 2 weeks, Denver and then San Diego or LA Chargers. And if he plays well and comes out of that 3-0, you don't go to Russ. There's no way.
I mean, I think it's too early. You got a new quarterback and a new system. Granted, he's older, but you got to give him at least a couple weeks. I wouldn't start Fields this week.
Oh, well, he's not healthy enough to play this week is the problem. His calf. Like they're not really saying what it is, but I think that it's a bigger problem than what they're alluding to, more than like just a strained calf. I think
that's all I heard was just a strain, just limited in practice, and he'll be fine. But if there's more going on, then obviously that's an injury thing. But I wouldn't pull him just because of his performance. But if he's hurt, then he's hurt.
as long as Justin is playing well, though, and they kind of open up the offense a little bit more, and he doesn't, turn the ball over. Uh, you ride the hot hand. I mean, you
Sure.
can put him on a short leash for sure, but
Well, that's what Harbaugh's doing down in L.A. Whoever's hot in the backfield, that's who's getting the rock.
at
And
the end of the day, unless Russ like comes in and leads us, deep into the playoffs, he's probably not coming back next year.
no,
However, Justin, if he comes and plays well, he could earn himself, a long-term deal in Pittsburgh, and boom, there's our future. But
right.
again, that defense, man, all they have to do is just not turn the ball over, and we're only going to allow 17 to 20 points a game. Just make some plays, kick some field goals,
Yeah.
occasional touchdown. I like what Arthur Smith is doing with the offense. He kind of dialed it back a little bit this week because he was afraid of Jesse Bates, rightfully so. Kept the ball to the outside. But as that offensive line gets healthy and meshes, they're going to be right there at the end.
Yeah.
Again, that whole division has a brutal schedule just because
It
of
does.
who it lined up against, and it's basically going to come down to a battle of attrition.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going Baltimore just to not be a complete homer. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to think of, when it comes down to that, them or, Pittsburgh or Baltimore, who's more consistent? Who is probably going to win those games when you flip a coin? Pittsburgh, you can't trust them to win games they should win.
not lately, no.
Baltimore usually wins the games they should win. And that's where it comes down to. I think they're going to win the division by a game. And so I got the Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, Browns. And I've got the Ravens win the division and the Steelers and the Bengals win in wild cards.
I do as well. And I also threw Jacksonville in there, which again
I threw the Jets. I got the Jets making playoffs. It was between them and the Colts. I'm really high on the Colts this year. My Chargers is an honorable mention. I don't think Harbaugh is going to make the playoffs his first year. There's a lot of question marks there, but
yeah, I think they're a year or two away.
Yeah, the Jets are right there. Brees Hall's a beast. Aaron Rodgers is a god if he's on his feet. They made huge additions to their offensive line. I got the Jets going to the playoffs.
Yeah. All right, Super Bowl picks. Actually, we'll do that last. My MVP pick. Again, revenge tour. I went A-Raj.
Did you?
Yes.
It's possible. And we just, like I just said, the weapons are there. Offensive line is there. He's got the right coach. And it's Aaron fucking Rodgers.
Yeah.
But I'm riding a hot hand from last year. This kid can throw the fucking rock, and he's got 3 number 1 receivers on his team right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's C.J. Stroud.
And Joe Mixon.
And Joe Mixon. And a defense that's not that bad that can help him stay in games. I think CJ has a great chance of being league MVP.
I won't discount that at all. Defensive player of the year.
Should have been last year.
Yeah, it's the guy that it should have been for the last 3 years, TJ Watt. I mean, come on.
I got to go Micah Parsons. And TJ Watt second, getting beat on stage. Everybody should think it's TJ Watt. Everybody, again. And they're going to give it to Micah.
He had a hell of a game.
He's a third-year guy now. He's bigger. He's stronger. He's smarter than he was, not than TJ. But I think TJ's going to get – I don't know what it is about the voting, if it's the judges, I don't know what it is. I think they're out to get him somehow. Because there's no fucking way Myles Garrett should have got Defensive Player of the Year last year in any way, shape, or form. Stat-wise, personality-wise, team wise, nowhere. Nowhere
You're
should
fucking
he have
preaching to the
been.
choir, man.
Just like Hamlin should have been comeback player of the year. I mean, I understand it, or not. Not Hamlin should have got
Hamlin
it.
should have
Should have
been.
got it.
Joe Flacco won.
Joe Flacco should not have been in the fucking conversation.
Yeah, dude died.
Mention, sure. The dude literally came back to fucking life, literally. But yeah, I mean, I'll play a little bias favoritism, but Micah is him, man. He's as Dion was. He's a dog. That dude.
He absolutely is.
He
I mean, of those three, obviously I favor TJ a little bit, but I got Garrett third. Micah,
I got Garrett in my top 5.
I mean, Micah does a little bit of everything. TJ drops back occasionally, but TJ is super strong against the run, always in the quarterback's face. I mean, it's just, to me, it's not even close. Miles is a great pass rusher, no question about it. And sure, he makes some plays on the run, but more or less they're talking about win rate and all this. But TJ Watt changes fucking games. Michael Parsons changes fucking games. So yeah, give me either one of those two over Myles Garrett.
For sure.
I think you did rookies of the year. I didn't honestly give those much thought, but
we did it last year. That's why
I mean, off the top of my head, if I have to go with one, I'm going to go with Jaden Daniels, just because he's a quarterback and he's going to touch the ball a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. I definitely think he's. I don't know. He obviously he's going to touch. He's being a starting quarterback and all, but when you look at the rookies and who they're playing with, Xavier Worthy has Patrick Mahomes throwing him the ball. In an offense that's going to throw the ball all the time.
If they keep what we saw last week, if they keep that up, Worthy's without question going to be in the conversation.
Yeah. But, so, I mean, Jaden Daniels obviously is in the conversation. Who was it last year?
Stroud by a mile.
A quarterback, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the year before that, quarterback, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like the MVP. It's
it's going to be a quarterback, and it shouldn't be. I mean, there's been so many years
runs through them, so obviously they're going to
those quarterbacks wouldn't have got those numbers if it wasn't for the guys they were throwing it to.
Agreed.
CeeDee Lamb's in the argument in the conversation for MVP, but he'll never get it because he's a receiver. He's not a quarterback.
Yeah. God, has there ever been a receiver MVP?
Oh, I'm sure there has been. I mean, go look. I mean, back in the day when you had a hell of a receiver and a
Jerry Rice probably did.
Right.
Yeah.
And an okay quarterback, but a hell of a receiver that made him look really good. But you had people back then that were picking the MVPs that knew what made that quarterback good.
Yeah.
And
then I picked as far as defensive rookie of the year. Honestly, I have no idea. I'm just going to go homer pick and say Peyton Willis, our inside linebacker, who looks like he's going to be a stud if he can stay healthy.
Right. I didn't do
Wilson. I'm sorry, Peyton Wilson.
I didn't do rookie offense or defensive player of the year. I just
I thought you did. So, yeah. I got 3 kind of bold predictions that I wrote down.
Let's go. Who's your passing winner? Who's going
to man, the league is just so pass. I want to go golf.
Yeah, it could happen. I got Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Right.
You got Dalton Kincaid, Cook out of the backfield can catch. You got Curtis Samuel, who has been 3 or 4 teams in the last 3 or 4 years now. But it's Josh Allen. That's just what he does.
I could see it. I could see Dak being up there as well,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Stroud.
because that backfield in Dallas is a big question mark. So I mean, if they're going to stay in games, it's going to be on the arm of Dak.
Top rusher.
Saquon Barkley. I don't know if there's anybody in the league that will come close to what he's going to do this year. And I mean that by 5, 6, 700 yards more.
I can't dispute that. I see some guys that might get close, but if Mixon keeps up his pace, he could be there. Bijan potentially.
Because it's only going to happen for the teams that have 1 3-down back and not running a tandem backfield.
Yeah, and C-Mac is pretty much out of the equation, at least for the next couple 3 weeks.
And I just see a lot of stuff going on at that in San Francisco. I don't see C-Mac being as good as he was. He's still going to be, one of the best in the league. He's probably going to be number 2, even with being hurt for a week or 2. But like I talked about earlier, Saquon's where he wants to be. He's at his hometown, his boyhood dream team. He's going to give it everything he's got.
Yeah. Finally, receiver.
Is there any question? It's got to be CeeDee Lamb. He's the best receiver in the league.
Yes. Well, I would take Justin Jefferson myself,
and I would say CeeDee Lamb is the best receiver in the league if he was on Cleveland, if he was in Miami, if he was in Denver. CeeDee Lamb is an animal.
Before last night, I would have said Tyreek Hill, but
there's guys in that conversation. Justin Jefferson is definitely in the conversation. Deebo Samuel, George Pickens, Tyreek Hill. They're definitely in the conversation.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm on St. Ra.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, and then you got, like, with your quarterback pick, I'm on Ross St. Brown.
Yeah. St. Ra. Yeah, you know what I meant.
CeeDee Lamb changes games.
Yeah, no,
he makes catches that he shouldn't.
Agreed.
It's crazy. He's just crazy good. Jamar Chase is in that conversation, but I don't know what the hell. New contract, whatever. But go play your game. Go play. Stop whining. Yeah. Go play.
All right. Well, let's do the old Super Bowl pick here. I'll bite the bullet first.
All right.
Again, did this a week and a half ago. I have the New York Jets going to the Super Bowl to face off against the eventual Super Bowl champion, Detroit Lions.
Wow. Getting old Dan Campbell ring, huh?
I just think them boys are hungry.
Oh, they are. And this is super bold. I don't even know why I picked it. But I have Houston beating the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game.
Wow.
And
if he's going to be MVP, that's...
it's got to. You got to run there.
Right.
And I have... I don't want to say it, but I have the Cowboys beating the Lions, going to the Super Bowl. 2 Texas teams in the Super Bowl.
Be a cool storyline.
It would be.
I don't think it's going to happen, but
probably not. But it's our year, right? It's our year.
Right? Yeah.
It's only been 26. It's been 82 years.
Real quick. My 3 bold predictions. I got Najee Harris will finish in the top 5 rushers.
That's not that bold.
Eh,
Come on.
I think he's going to have a breakout. He wants a contract. I don't know if we're going to give it to him, but I think he fits very well with Arthur Smith. While I
Top
love
five.
Jalen Warren, I think Najee is going to get a lot more carries at the end of the day. Derrick Henry will not play more than 12 games.
I can see that.
I just big backs. Look, I know he's a beast.
Yeah.
But big backs eventually break down. Now, I might eat those words based on his usage in week 1 because they're not going to use him, at least it looks like, as a bell cow. So that may be the key to keeping him healthy. But I just, gut feeling says that something's going to break on him.
Yeah.
And then I also got Penix taking over the quarterback position in Atlanta before week 10.
Oh, yeah. Before week 10, that's 100% doable. So one of mine I kind of gave away with my rushing leader. I thought, I got boldly predicted Saquon winning the rushing title. I'm going to replace that bold prediction with. I'll come back to it. I got another one. I got Sam Darnold taking the Minnesota Vikings to the playoffs, which I think was pretty bold.
Yeah.
He's the only quarterback on their depth chart at the moment. If you go look at their depth chart, he's the only one there.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
On ESPN. JJ's hurt, so he's no depth. He's the only one listed on their depth chart.
That's wild.
But they have the weapons to do it. They could. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to make a wild card. I'm not even saying they're going to win that wild card game. It would all just depend on the seeding. But I think Sam Darnold's finally going to get his shot, finally going to be in the spotlight, and he's going to take him to the playoffs. Yeah, and like Matt said, the Niners not even making the playoffs.
Yeah, that's super bold.
That was where I was going to replace Saquon with. I think Purdy goes back to looking like an Iowa farm boy. I don't think he's going to be this star like he has been. The Ayuk situation was a mess. The backfield, now that CMC's hurt, Mason looked great, but I think they miss it. I really do. And they're not missing by much, but they're going to miss the playoffs.
Pretty bold.
And then really bold, I think CeeDee Lamb breaks the NFL season reception touchdown record.
Oh, just for touchdowns?
Just for touchdowns.
What is it? 20, 21, something like that?
Oops. I just forgot to write it
I thought
down.
it was Moss that got it.
Jerry Rice has the most. Oh, that's career. Guess we'll do it this way. Single season. Randy Moss with 23.
Okay, yeah, that was when he was with the Patriots.
I believe so. Yes, 2007 with New England. 16 games, 98 receptions, 160 targets. He had just under 1,500 yards and 23 touchdowns. Receiving touchdowns, not total touchdowns.
All right. Well, there you have it.
I would throw a number out there, but I'm not going to.
Let's get into these week 2 picks. I don't know why, but I would have picked the Dolphins last night. I just thought they were due, and they definitely were not. And I don't know that Tua would have changed it.
No, I would have picked the Bills. Um, I mean, I didn't write them down on my list because the game's already over, but um, I picked the Bills over the Dolphins. I picked the Bills almost over any one in that division every time.
All right, then we got Saints at Cowboys. Cowboys 6-point favorites in Dallas.
And
Yeah,
and they're going to win by at least a touchdown.
I have them on my parlay. Uh, Bucks Lions, big matchup early on. I am going to go with the Detroit Lions.
Me as well.
Colts Packers. 2 weeks ago, I would have, without question, said the Packers, but I'm going to go with Colts.
Yep, I got Indy as well. That Jordan Love situation might have changed my mind. But
Jets Titans. Bounce back game for A-Rod. So I'm definitely going Jets here.
I got Tennessee.
Moving on. We have the 49ers traveling to Minnesota, West Coast, East Coast. Not really. I guess they're Central. It's not really East Coast. I'm still going to go Niners on this one.
Give me Minnesota. They're at home. Why not?
Yeah, it's not a terrible pick. Seattle traveling to New England. This is a West Coast traveling to East Coast.
Yeah.
Both teams coming off a victory. Oh, man.
Kenny Walker's probably going to miss the game.
Okay. Give me the Patriots.
There's a lot of people picking them. I don't know why, but I do know why at the same time. You never know. But I'm going to stay with Seattle.
Giants Commanders in Washington.
Do we have to say it?
No. Washington.
Daniel Jones hasn't thrown a touchdown at home. I think it's at home or at all. Right? I think it's just at home since January 1st of 2022.
He's got more pick sixes than he's got TD passes to his own team.
Yep.
So there you go. Chargers taking on the Panthers again. I mean, yeah. Chargers. Yeah. They're selling tickets in Carolina, two tickets, for $1.80.
I mean, if you want to go see a game, you've never been to one.
Yeah, I guess.
It, knock your socks off. I suggest you get a Boy Scout troop together or a bunch of homeless guys, get them tickets, and get the old Make Your Wish Foundation type thing. Just take them.
We got the Browns traveling to Jacksonville, and again, after what I saw, I don't see the Browns doing much. Give me Jacksonville.
Yep, give me Jacksonville. NTN's going to have a good game.
Raiders traveling to Baltimore. Yeah, Ravens bounce back here, slap Vegas around a little bit.
Yep, a lot of it.
Out west, we have the Rams taking on the Cardinals. Should be a
really good game.
Cardinals going to have to find a way to get the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, but like Kyler said, it's not his job. No, it
exactly is your job.
It's also, I understand what you're saying. It's my job to put the ball where the play's supposed to go, where the play's designed to go. From an offensive coordinator standpoint, I don't want to get benched or yelled at or fined or whatever because I'm throwing it to the guy who should be getting the ball instead of the guy who should be getting the ball.
Right.
You design plays for a reason, to beat defenses, to, move the ball to set up play action, to set up the run, to set up a screen. You do things for a reason. I get it. But when you have a guy wide fucking open like he was for a touchdown, you don't throw it to your third fucking read in the slot. You don't.
I agree.
So give me the Rams.
I'm gonna agree with you. I think they're gonna. I think it's gonna be a tight game, but yeah, I like the Rams experience a little bit better, and
Yep.
I think they're gonna pull it off. Then we have the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to the Denver Broncos. Only thing really in this matchup that is somewhat of a concern to me is obviously George Pickens is our primary, and I think Sertan is going to stick with him, so he might kind of I won't say take him out of the game, but reduce his impact. So I see bigger games from Freiermuth, and Naj and Jalen Warren should be a little healthier this time. I think, yeah, Pittsburgh's going to win. They're going to be carried by their defense. Bo Nix becomes Bo Picks, and yeah, Steelers get a big win in Denver.
Yeah, I think the Steelers win as well. I don't think it's going to go quite like that. I don't think Surtain's what he was. He's still good, but Pickens is much younger and has the ability to get away from him. I don't think they're going to change much. But if Justin does play, I think he makes a few plays with his legs.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not a fire moth fan or whatever the fuck his name is. I think he's really overrated.
Freiermuth.
Yeah, I don't. He should be on every waiver wire on fantasy. He should be 0% rostered. I don't think he's a good tight end. I just don't. Blocking tight end, sure.
He's got incredible hands,
and that's the role he should play. I mean, well, then it must be quarterback play because he has one good game a year, maybe two.
Yeah, but consider the offensive systems that we've had over the last year. I think Arthur Smith is going to find a way to get in the ball, especially in the play action game, especially with a quarterback like Justin Fields, that safety blanket. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be fucking Travis Kelce or anything.
No, but with Justin, I mean, for sure, you're definitely like to have that check down option, and that's, when you have a tight end like him who does have good hands, you have a tendency to, have a good game. But he's not even, I don't know. I just don't like him. But Pittsburgh's going to win somehow.
I hope Booth catches like 10 balls and 3 touchdowns. Just stick it in your hands. All right, then we got the Bengals and the Chiefs. I mean, if both teams are at full strength, this would be a really good game, but that is not the case. T. Higgins probably isn't going to play.
I believe this was my AFC Championship game last year, if I remember right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, give me the Chiefs. The Bengals look like it's a freight train running off track here.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to keep up. So, moving on, Sunday Night Football. Bears at Houston. I think Caleb will have a little bit better of a game just because he's got those first game jitters out of the way. Bears got a good defense, but they don't have enough. Houston.
Yeah, by a lot. I think it's a double-digit win. My MVP pick. Yeah, that wide receiver core is crazy. Joe Mixon ran all over the place. Give me Houston all day long.
Yep. And then Monday night, Falcons, Eagles. Falcons, I think, are going to start 0-2. Give me the Eagles at home.
Yep. Same. Saquon, another 2 or 3 touchdown day.
All right. Well, quick summary. We both picked the Cowboys, Lions, Colts, Washington, Chargers, Jags, Ravens, Rams, Steelers, Chiefs, Texans, Eagles. And we differ. I got the Jets. He's got Tennessee. I've got the Niners. He's got Minnesota. I've got the Pats. And he has the Seahawks. So we will obviously revisit this next week.
Yep.
When we come on, and we'll finally be able to talk about all the action. Not a week late. So
right.
All right.
And I gotta get down to you. I gotta get my belt.
Yeah. I need to get it back from Jake.
Well, Jake, if you're listening, which you will be, I'm sure, you'll probably skim through the parts. But yeah, everybody watches the last minute or so. So Jake, I need my belt, bro. I'll message you my PO box if I need to.
All right. So yeah, this was thrown together. We will be back next week, and we'll talk about everything that happened and what's going to happen and all that good shit. So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us, like, subscribe, both here and on YouTube. Also, Eldonzo Deez. Don't know what's up with it. We may or may not come back. Shit's kind of haywire right now, but we'll see what happens. Probably going to end up making a whole new YouTube channel just so there's no confusion there, but haven't got to that yet. Also going to probably start streaming on Twitch and TikTok as well. So I'm Deez. He's Bubba J. Sorry, didn't mean to step on you there.
You're right.
We'll catch you next time, folks. Have a good one. See ya.